Welcome to FAU for You and Boca Digital and Royal Palm Plaza, Royal Palm Place, Cafe 812. It's Saturday morning. It's May 16th. It's 10:31, 18 seconds, 19 seconds, 20 seconds. 10:31 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, I guess is what it is. You'll notice on this, if you get what the date is, it's May, it's Saturday, it's the 16th. But also notice that embedded in this time and date, this date thing of 2026, it says it's episode 599. Can you believe it? Over 8 years, or lots of years, 12 years. Episode 599. Reaching about 50,000 people. Can you believe that? Not all at once. Over time. I make images of things. You notice there's a whole row of images at the bottom. And let me say hello there. Panoramic, albeit sideways view of this little studio thing. I've turned off the front-face camera because it's like scary to death. So, yeah. So now I add this, and then we switch cameras. Swap cameras would be the proper designation. God, these overlays. So I have the light on, a rather dim setting because I don't need a lot of light. Because all my displays are lit up. Yeah, there we go. I've been a little under the weather. I had some kind of I got a seasonal flu, seasonal bacterial infection. But my primary care doctor, Thomas Lubin, and I had a telemed call yesterday at noon sharp. Wherein he reviewed my prescriptions. These little doodads here. Yeah. Prednisone and doxycycline. These are empty. They're now refilled. My lungs get so tired, exhausted, that the prednisone, you have Aleve, which is they call it an NSAID drug. That stands for non-steroidal NSAID. Oops, lost Facebook as usual. Continue without, The prednisone is a steroidal. So Aleve is a non-steroidal, and that's the two first letters of NSAID. Anyway, the prednisone works really, really good. I get some ache and pain relief from Aleve. Don't use that other one with an A. Aleve, like relieve. That I believe is the one. There we go. So we're live here. 8 stories about chops. And I'll take a little. So now I'm in favorites. There we go. And so the last, I showed the numbers for the last 2 drawings, the 12th and the 15th. The 19th is coming up. All right. So it shows rollover. You don't see numbers in there. It'd be nice if I gave you the numbers in advance, huh? Then a very exclusive few would notice it. Yeah, that would be really crazy. If I had a time machine, I could do that. Yeah. So you can see with anyway, no one won the lottery on the 15th. So the rollover, 271. So it went up, they rolled it over with a $20 million increase. So they must be selling tickets. There we go. So now that you've had a few minutes to examine the spreadsheet, there'll be a quiz at 11. Just kidding. Former high school math teacher. Students, pay attention, there'll be a quiz at 11. You got 12 minutes to get this figured out. Yeah, 20 minutes. Because it's 10. It's almost 10:40. It's 10:39 and 22 seconds. Boy, you see the timer, the clock, right? Oh, you don't see because the stupid microphone's in the way. But you can see that that's the clock. That's an elapsed timer, which means that I've been talking for 9 minutes and 10 seconds. Yeah, that's tenths of a second, rolling by rather rapidly. And 27. That's the number of seconds, and that's the number of minutes. So what we're going to, so you can, let's review. See, I only have the last 2 drawings because, in fact, I had to, because I haven't been well for a week, apparently. I had to update the last 2 drawings, on the 12th and the 15th. Yeah. And you can see, so now I can, oops, I need to shrink this down so you see what I see. There you go. My screen over here on my iPad Pro has more pixels than the half screen I'm transmitting over the internet that you're watching, either as a video or you're watching. There we go. You could be watching it live, or you could be, watching it on the recording. In which case you'd be, 11 minutes time shifted from the live broadcast, but that's okay. You can't call in, or you can't text me, because I'm 11 minutes in the future. How interesting would that be? Yeah, it's like a little time machine here. So I'm going to copy this. Let's see, how do I do that? I'm going to hit these three dots in the top, and I'm going to say duplicate. So now it just duplicated. There's an exact duplicate right here. And on the duplicated one, I'm going to hit the. All right. So I'm just gonna crop out one of those columns proportionately. And I'm going to check that. And then I'm going to duplicate it again. There we go. So that's with two installments of the 30-year payout. That's not 30 years. It's 29 years and 1 day. But it's 30 payments because you get one payment on day one, which is that $4,078,000. And at $4,282,000 is 105% because it's a 5% growing annuity. That's what the annuity people, that's their language. We all have our own language going on. Anyway, so I did, that was the original one. It had 2 payments. This is the duplicated one where I trimmed it down to 1 payment, and I duplicated that. And I'm going to take on that duplicated one. I'm going to edit it down here at crop. I'm going to leave it as the original crop, and I'm going to come over here. Gosh darn it. A crop. Original. Jeez. Yeah. So I'm going to go right here. When I move in the side, the bottom comes up, which is what I want.
It's 10:45.
Original, yeah. So now I don't have any annuity business. This one, hopefully, is originally cropped. Let's check it. Crop. Hit original. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Get this back. This should be. Oh, jeez. Sorry, folks. I'll get this right. Yeah. there's no annuities. One annuity payment. And this is a 2 annuity payment. All right. Now we can stop making all that noise. Just kidding. All right. So I got that down to size. Recently saved. I want favorites. There we go. This just came over the wire. Tesla rolls out 5 Super Model Ys lease deals in May. 5 Super Model Y lease deals. Yeah, you can go check them out at Tesla.com. Then go to vehicles, and then check the Model Y, and then check all the lease functions that are newly made available. You want to do it? All right. Let's go to this Tesla. TESLA.com. There it is right there. Tesla.com. Can use my current location, yeah. That's all right. These are used cars. Just execute Model Y. Here it is. We'll accept the cookies. And whatever else. We're going to hit order now. Yeah, let's get right to it. If you've never been here, if you want to get a Tesla, this is what you do. You go to Tesla.com, which I just did. All right? Pick Model Y. Right, go back if you want. Back. There we go. See on this list? Model Y, Model 3, Model X, and S are discontinued, so you can't order any more of those. They're just going to show you what's available here and there on lots, on the service center lots. Let's hit a Model X and see what happens. View inventory, so you can't, and maybe just the inventory may be just exactly what you may want. There is no new inventory. I don't think so. How about pre-owned? See here, they got a bunch of pre-owned. You may like them. I recommend looking at a car made after let's say, the end of March 2021. That's when hardware version 4. That's a key thing. Hardware. You know, you got software, firmware, and hardware. Hardware is like your iPad or your MacBook Pro or your Mac. So hardware, like a microphone, like a computer, like a car. Well, the components in the car, they've all bundled them up, and they call it hardware version 4, HW4. That's the Tesla speak. So when you look, see here it says 2018, too old. I mean, the car's perfectly fine, but it has hardware version 3 because it's earlier than April of 2021. We owned our first Tesla, released our first Tesla, easy for me to say, in 2021. June, it was actually June 2021, and had hardware version 4. We sold some. We went to, cars.com, I forget what. I forget the name of the website, but we sold 2 Hondas. We had 2 leases. They came up, and the leases were, I think we're on 90-day extensions or 6-month extensions. So our son Daniel said, "Hey, are you looking at what your car is worth? You can pay off your lease and make money." We did. We made about $7,500 per car, which, that's pretty good. We sold 2 cars, made $15,000. I gave Daniel a 10% finder's fee for focusing my attention on, these car places. And we went to one of them locally. It's like Cars A Million. I don't know what I figure. And we, came up with like $15,000. Bought an 85-inch screen, 85-inch new television. It's hanging right there on the wall behind us. Outside of the den doors here. So I became more and more cognizant of hardware version 4. Let's see if they have such a search parameter here. They got layout, driving, steering, paint, additional options. HW4, that's not, is there anywhere? They don't have it. I'm looking in the, whoops. Sorry folks, you can't see it. Let's get this trimmed up right. There we go. Got a black edge on both sides, so Anyway, so we're going to change to Model Y as our search criteria. And now we're going to look at, since they're talking about lease deals, we're going to look at there's a selection of it up top here. I should say new, or not new. Yeah, new. So that takes the year out of the search criteria. There you go. And we're going to lease. Yeah. What's this? Anyway, so if you're going to buy a car, you can see they have rear-wheel drive. Here's rear-wheel drive. This is like with the paint. Reduced. Here's all-wheel drive. So this is what we have, all-wheel drive. Yeah. So now you can see what's going on. This is a screen that I'm familiar with. We're going to click over here to lease. Yeah, there are 3 columns under Model Y. We want lease. Now you can see that's underlined. Okay. And to lease a Model Y. Top speed of 125. 0 to 60 in fast. 4.6 seconds. Which is throw the head back on a, you're almost like, 2 times gravity. I mean, it's like unbelievable. It isn't, but excuse me. Had a little cough. This is showing you an available car. We're not in a hurry. We're not going to trade in anything. We're going to get the full self-driving subscription.
It's 11 o'clock.
But let's see what the They're showing me the availability of a car that's brand new, but yeah, no, we don't want to reserve that. That's inventory. We don't care about inventory. Yeah. Red. It's just, it's actually like it looks. It's like a deep maroon. It's beautiful. And we want the wheels. I prefer to be 18-inch wheels. I can't believe they have that as an option. And the interior, we want to be white interior. The white interiors are magnificent. If you want a tow hitch, you can throw that on there. It's $1,000. All right, we have all the all the things the way we want it. Rear wheel, all wheel. That's what we want. All wheel. I'm not too sure what all wheel premium means. Don't see anything alike, so then you can go ahead and do your new car race. There you go, we got the colors of it. See, you don't have a lot of choices. You know, it comes with the greatest stereo system you can imagine. You can't get a cheap radio in there. Or you can't get no radio. You got to get all the speakers. You got to get the radio. Get it. You know, saves you a lot of money. If you have gear, sell it. Just go with what Tesla's got. It's all built in. It's beautiful. It'll make you want to pull over and listen to your music. All right, I chose 18-inch wheels. I like that. Because graphics here is so now we'll go to menu. Not too sure what's going on here. I don't want to shop vehicles. I want Model Y. I want to order a new one. Jeez, finally. This is what you... So you can rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive is like $30 a month more on the lease. Get it. Now the premium all-wheel drive is, you can see it's $688 and $557. So that's $130 more a month. But it includes a whole bunch of stuff. That's what we got, so I'm just going to check it. I do have this switch. A subscription to the all-wheel drive. It is magnificent. The color I want is red. Doesn't give me the 18-inch wheel option here. I do want the interior white. It's your warranty. 50,000 miles or 4 years, whichever occurs first. So the leases are 3-year. So every 3 years we get another one, which means we're always under warranty. That's kind of like important if you're leasing. To me, it's an iPhone with wheels. I'm not a financial planner. I'm just giving advice to myself. Jimmy, always lease. Because every time you turn in the car and you get another one, it's got 3 years worth of updates. And they're tweaking these cars all during the 3-year period. They announce it. So so you'll know generally what's going on with that. Okay. I got this mouse, that mouse, too. They have all kinds of stuff you can add to the car. A rear wheel mattress, a cooler. They got all wheel all leather interior liners. There's an air mattress. It blows up, folds down. Sunshade, I don't know what that is. $105. So a lease, edit financing. I check lease, so this is it. Lease, 36 month. You can go 2 years to 3 years. 10,000 miles or more. We don't drive 10,000 miles a year. Do it signing. You got to pay at least $1,500. So let's put $1,500. And do it signing 1877. Apparently you can't, that's the tax, title, transportation. They won't put that in the lease. So you write a check for that to get the car. And that includes, wait a minute. You break down. There you go. First month payment. There we go. So that's the first month payment, the acquisition fee, and it doesn't show the transportation. Do a delivery. There it is. All right. You pay. Pay with a credit card. Just push that one. Of course, I'm not going to do it. And this, you put in your credit card information, expiration date, Due today, $250. It's non-returnable. So if you don't want the car, don't. This $250 is your order fee and it's non-refundable. So don't do that unless you're ready to buy the car, because you're not going to get that back. There you go. And $731 a month. That's for the lease. With premium. Let's check the all-wheel drive, not premium. $581. All-wheel drive premium, $790. So it's a couple $100 more a month for the premium. And it's, you know, there's another item you can check instead of order now, which will explain premium, not premium, which you can do. Available the way we've specified it in 3 to 5 weeks. So, say 4 weeks. Early is 3 weeks. Somewhere between 3 and 4 weeks. The factories are running, so I don't know whether, that they're retooling. Oops, we want, excuse me, we want red bread, $2,000 more. And the white interior, there's black interior, there's white interior. You can see the differences. The white is spectacular. It makes such a difference to have a white interior. And the seats don't get dirty. You wash them off with a little very mild soap and water. I've never used any soap, just water. A moist cloth, like a shop towel or a bar towel. I buy them by the hundreds. Yeah. It's not asking you to pay. It's not telling us that there is no charging wire. Remember the chargers, there are 2 of them. One runs half the battery, the other one runs the other half of the battery. You don't have the option to not have them both running. But the chargers connect to the wire when you plug it in the car. And then the other side of the plug, you plug into the wall. Okay? And there's a little dumiplitchy in between that'll accept different kinds of receptacles. Okay, so that's fine. It's the plug we have on the column in our structured parking garage is a NEMA model 1450. NEMA, N-E-M-A, and that's National Association of Electricians N-E, National Electronics, M-A, N-E-M-A. 1450. That's the plug configuration for the socket on our wall that handles up to 32 amps. That receptacle will handle up to 48 amps. But we only have a 32 amp circuit because that's all that the good doctor called for. He should have asked for 48 amps. But it was his first car, and I don't know how he got any advice from anybody. If I knew him, he lives down the hall from me. So I kind of tracked him down from his parking spot number. I went downstairs and asked one of the guys. I've been in the building 14 years, so they kind of know who I am, generally. Yeah. There we go. Let's get rid of this. We don't want any sound effects. No. We just want it running on Rodecaster Duo. It's the name of the game here, hopefully. It's probably supposed to be chat. So hopefully we get, the stereo may not include, the sound. Seems like I remember listening to one of these. So I would have gone 47 minutes with no music in the background. Otherwise, now you hear Epidemic Sound instrumental. Yeah. Well, we're going over our Tesla purchases. Yeah. Okay. So we did not Alright, there's no tow hitch in there. There you go. So, what's considered the no money down lease, which means only, there you go, 1532. That's the best you can do. They require you, show breakdown, to have that 1532, which is first month payment and the acquisition fee. They don't include that in the lease. I guess everything else is in the lease. And if you want the full self-driving, it's $99 more. That you get a free month. So after the 3 month, then you decide. My suggestion is use it all the time, or as often as. So you just put the address in of where you're going, like the mall. Put in the address of the mall, the parking garage, the Neiman Marcus parking garage. And then. But that is the address. And then on your navigator, you type in the address, and then there's a blue sign that comes up right up in this corner. And you just say, start full self-driving. Yeah. Now, if you want to compare models, Model Y, this, that, the different characteristics, you can go through and do 3 at a time. Now we're comparing 3 models. I guess this is how these are different cars that are available. And you decide which one you like. You can order now something like one of these, or you can when you go here, and so you can see rear-wheel drive. That's probably what that is. Well, that's Model 3. We don't want Model 3. So the Model 3 has like a trunk design, whereas the Model Y has a hatchback. It's like a slightly smaller version of an SUV. Mid-size, they call it. See, mid-size SUV. Right there in the middle. Yeah. $599. Yeah, with a $4,000 or $5,000. Yeah, with a $4,500 cash in. And here's the Model Y with other characteristics which you can change. See, here's the different colors. I guess this is why. Yeah. Just go back. Back. There we go. So you can, these convenience features, and it's got a screen in the back too, by the way. You plug in the wire at your own house. Get your electrician to install a, charger thing. Not one of those. That's a supercharger. And they're if you're in a major metropolitan area, a top 300 cities in the country, you'll have a supercharger every 5 miles. So you don't have to drive far to find one. And they put them right on a map. You can push it, go there, and the car, full self-driving, will take you right to it. You don't even have to think. You don't have to touch anything. You just sit there. The wheel will turn. If you get the brakes and the accelerator, it'll go the maximum speed and the speed limits. Traffic permitting, of course. Yeah. The car, you download an app in the App Store. You just go to, I'll show you how that is. Here's the App Store, where it says search down there in the lower right, in that oblong. You touch that up in the very top, you type Tesla, Tesla. There it is. Hit enter or return. It's the second one right here. Now there's an update, and it's telling me to update. So now this is on my computer. So I'll go ahead and update the version of that software on my computer. So that's been updated. Then you open it. There it is. So here's the location of the car. It's right there in the parking garage. with the red arrow. Back. You want to schedule a service appointment, which I don't know why you would, but if you would want to, nothing goes wrong. I had a computer failure, I will say, in year 2 of my second car, Model Y. First one, I went the full 36 months, never went in for service for anything. No filters, no oil changes, no topping off of oil or water or, radiator, antifreeze, nothing. 36 months, no charge, no service calls. I drove into service after 2 years of driving the car on a release from a brand new car. So in year 2 or so, I just drove into the service department. I didn't make an appointment. And they said, they saw me coming, so to speak. Their computers noticed me because they logged into everything about the car as I was driving up into the service driveway. And they looked at me and said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "Well, I haven't been here in 2 years. Is there anything you need to do?" He says, "No, we've checked out your car since you've driven in here. We logged into your computer, went in the back door that the service techs have access to, and everyone is like palms up. What's wrong?" He says, "So you're good to go. If you leave it in the lane, we'll put it through the car wash if you want, no charge. Take you 5 minutes. Step right over here. Otherwise, you can go through the turnaround and we'll see you whenever we need to see you." If we don't need to see you now, your car is in good, perfect working order. How about that? But in the second car lease, Model Y, we're in year 2 now, or actually we're in year 3 now, but in year 2, towards the end of the year 2, the computer started to not work properly. We get mixed up on where the car is and where your destination is, So I did a service appointment, and I said, "So what's with that? That seems like that's flummoxed." He says, "Yeah, we've noticed there's something wrong with your computer. So you'll have to leave the car with us, and we'll, remove the computer board or test it in the car and then test it out of the car and check all the cameras, make sure they're working properly." And after about 2 days, they called me back, texted me, said, "Your car needs a new computer." So they put one in. Take a couple of days. So in the meantime, their loaner car was the Model X, the best car that they make. So it wasn't like we were suffering. It was a brand new Model X. I think it was blue. Anyway, so, 5 days later, we got our other car back with a new computer, and everything's been fine since. Yeah. All right, so, I answered Marilyn. Anything else on text message I need to do? Oh, yeah. Oh, so I need to Yeah, it's well, I'm showing you guys how to go to the App Store to download this magnificent app. So I'm going to search and type in Tesla, T-E-S-L-A. It's on the top of the list there. And there it is. You can see it on my iPhone there. Update. Let me just check the whole shenanigans here. So they came up with a new version of their application. What's new? Arrow. See, this release contains minor fixes and improvements. The one before that was the week before that. Downloading clips, you know, when someone's walking near your car, it does a video clip of any camera all the way around the car. And now the clips include speed, steering wheel angle, and self-driving state. They're really interested that you use the self-driving because it drives the car better than you can. So they want you to use it. Why not? It's magnificent. All right, so I've looked at the version history, and I'm going to click Update. So it is now updating the app in my phone. And now everything looks, you know, like it should. The car is in the parking space. Marilyn will be driving Brennan for some errands. And then after she's done with that, yeah. Alright, I've updated my app. I suggest anyone that owns a Tesla, go to the App Store and update your app. Yep. Marilyn isn't driven anywhere yet. I'll just shrink it down. There we go. They want you to keep it active at all times. So, we finished with Tesla. I'm going to go press this button right here. Go back to my photo album. So, I never did talk about Mega Millions. Let's do it real quick. Now, this is the next drawing is on the 19th. You can see there, May 19th. 271 million is the estimated single winner jackpot. They have 71 balls, which is the white balls. There's 71 of them, I believe. So, there are 70. Ouch. I figured it was 70 or 71. Let's just say 70. I think it's 70. And 21 mega balls. Or 24. 70 balls and 24 of the yellow balls. They're in two separate machines. The machine on the left has the 70 balls in it, in which they pluck 5 of them out. And last night's drawing was 17, 23, 25, 52, 61. Mega Millions ball number 3. So the 200, you can, so this way, whoops. So you can see, that's the best one I got? Yeah, okay. So you can see here, I'm expanding it, reverse pinching this picture, which you can download from my site to your site, from my site to your photo album. You can download this image and then reverse pitch it, or you can just watch me reverse pitch it. And I'm reverse pinching it up so you can see on top it says lump sum payout, after tax payout, any dollar values are estimates produced by the author. That's me. The date presented, the data presented have not been confirmed and not been endorsed by any lottery whatsoever. This is just my spreadsheet. I produced it. I added the yellow. I typed in all the column captions. And now when it comes to the stuff that's inside, the window of a spreadsheet, like this white area, I type in the 271 or the 251, whatever Mega Millions decides is the estimated winning for the jackpot to a single winner. I take that number right off their website. So opposite May 15 should be a $251 million opportunity last night, which no one won. No one had these balls. 17, 23, 25, 52, 61, Powerball 3. No one had that winning combination. So there was no winner. So it rolled over. That's why there's rollover there. And they said it's rolling over to 271 million. So based on the number of ticket sales that they get, and decide they can bump it to 20 million for next week's Tuesday, Friday. Yeah. And here you go. You got if you elect the lump sum jackpot 271 million turns over to be $122 million lump sum before any taxation. Now, if you did have the winning combination, Jimmy, I'm talking to myself. Just happen to have a microphone here that's eavesdropping on my talking to myself. Self, if you were to win this $271 million jackpot by having all the correct numbers on Tuesday's drawing, Tuesday, May 19, see it right there? The jackpot would be 271. It's the rollover week. Notice it says number 18 on the very right. You can see 18, barely. See 18? Gosh. There we go, now we can see 18. Yeah. Right there, yeah. So now you can see the 18. What does that mean? That'd be the 18th drawing where there has not been a Mega Millions jackpot winner. But there are, thousands of other money prizes from, $5 to, a million and over. There's, like 11,000 prizes. It's a lot of number of prizes. Most of them are $500 to $5, somewhere in that range. More on the bottom of the range, less on the top end of that range. Moving right across there. So $271 million jackpot to a single winner. That's Mega Millions' estimate on what that jackpot will look like on Tuesday's drawing. And you got a hold of the lottery people after the drawing date. The lump sum to a single winner before any taxation. That 122 million, Jimmy, if you won that, that would go on line 1H of your tax return as a supplemental income one-time shot, like lotteries. I mean, you do TurboTax, they'll tell you where to put it. I think it's line 1H. You don't even have to know that in TurboTax. They'll just ask you, did you win any lotteries? And you're going to say yes. And then you're going to say, oh, how much? 122,610,000. Wow. So you type that in. I think they got enough zeros for that. Now, the hands, the long arm of our U.S. government, the IRS, is going to assess a 24% withholding tax, which means we're pretty sure you're going to be in the maximum tax brackets somewhere. So we're gonna hold lottery people. You're gonna send us, about $30 million, because that's represents 24% of the winning. Therefore, the net amount after the withholding, so 122 million is going to go on your tax return. The 93 million, that's what you're actually going to get, Jimmy, into your TD bank account. Because you're going to give them the routing and transit number. It's I think a 9-digit code. It's a 9-digit number. Each bank has a unique number. It's segregated by area and the bank's unique bank number. And then you also give them your account number. You have to have it, well, you should have a checking account somewhere. So you decide that they could tell you if you need to open up some new accounts, they tell you to do it. Because they're going to credit $93 million somewhere. So you need to get an account open if you don't have one. If you do have one, fine. Call your branch and say, well, by the way, in 2 weeks from the drawing date, which is, this case, May 19, you're not going to get the money until 15 days from the draw date. See, we had 15 days to May 19. You're going to be in April. This is May, June. So you're going to be somewhere in the first week of June before you can get your payout. That $93 million will occur in the first week of June. Call your branch. Tell them, Jimmy, call your branch manager and say, I'm going to have a $93 million deposit come into that account. It's not going to be there long because we're going to put $15.9 million of that in another account because I'm going to owe another 13% tax. Now for us folks, you can see the column caption up on the top. Jackpot lump sum payout subject to 37% tax. And since you've already got a 24% withholding, you got to pay 13% more. So that's just about 16 million, which you would put in I would suggest. So out of the 93 million, put 15 million in a, just call it savings account, JLW savings account, IRS, 13%. And just plop that 16 million in there. That 93 million is after the 24% withholding. Now this next column, the last, on the right here, less remaining 13% FIT, federal income tax. That's the 16 million you're going to put in the savings account somewhere, because next April you're going to do your 2026 tax return, right? In which you would have made over $93 million. Kind of wild, huh? So after all that federal taxing, you're going to end up with $77,240,000. That's the bottom line that you're going to keep, or you're going to split around a little bit with some of your family members. You got 4 kids, give each of them $5 million. I got 4 kids. 5 times 4 is 20 million. You got 8 other relatives. Give each of them $1 million. Judy, sister Judy, brother-in-law Bob and Jane, Janine, give her $1 million, give her kid $1 million. Go right up the line to George. And that's 10 people, let's say. If there's only 8, then $2 million of it's going to go to 2 charities, 1 each. So that's 20 million to kids, 10 million to other relatives. Now you're down to, that's 30 million, so you've got 47 million left over for yourself. Not bad, huh? Now if you want, you can give 7.5 million to each kid. That would be 30 million. plus 10 is 40 million. Then you have 37 million 240. You get it? Yeah. Just leave it that way. So you're going to give $7.5 million to each kid, and they're going to pay tax on it. So their net effect will be down to $5 million. But still have to pay income tax on it. So they'll each have a net of $5 million, roughly. Because they're going to be in a 37% tax bracket. So that means 63% is their money. So if we get our trusty calculator, 75000, we're going to times that 0.63, because if 37 is the tax, then 63 must be the money, the net after tax, equals 4.7. So after their 39% tax bracket, which they'll surely be in the maximum tax bracket with a $7.5 million, we're going to throw them $7.5 million. Now, some portion of that might be gift tax, a certain amount of money you can give your kid with no taxation. But yeah, that's like $10,000 or $20,000 a year. So that's not going to make a significant difference. But so roughly $4.7 million after tax. Now, if you want to know, so if we gave them $10 million each, 10 million, a lot of zeros, huh? Times 0.63 equals 6.3. So if you for example, if you wanted them to have $5 million after tax, divide that by 0.63. So you gotta give them $8 million for them to end up with $5 million in round numbers. So if you gave them each, let's just say 10 million. You got all these. Boy, that's quite a gift. Times 0.63. They got 6.3 million if I give them 10. They end up with 6.3 after their tax. Kind of like double taxation. And maybe your tax guy, maybe our tax people can figure out another way of getting 10 million in their hands. So that's how that works. Go back to my spreadsheet. So you each give them each $10 million. Out of that 77 million, that's 40 million. Bam. And then the other elders, another 10 million. That's 50 million. So now we're down to 27 million. Poor babies. Which is fine. What the hell am I going to do with 27 million? I'm going to buy a condo. You can bet you. I'm going to buy a condo. Somewhere, hopefully on the Boca Resort property. In their little private culture. With their gated and everything. So one of those condo buildings, we'll find a nice condo for, what do we have? 27 million left over after we give away 50. 27. Yeah, well, that's what the hell. I'm 81 years old, so let's start handing it out. And, you know, Marilyn's in her 70s, so it's just tell them you're not getting any more money, so split it up into a bunch of different puddles, you know, and make sure you don't blow the 10 million, because you're not getting any more from us until we both drop dead. I drop dead, you're not getting another nickel. And Maryland's going to have 27 million worth of assets, either cash, condos, or whatever. And so if we buy a $7 million condo, you know, then we have 20 million left over in cash. She drops dead, then we'll split the money up the way we split up the, you know, the first bunch of money. We'll have a plan that, you know, we'll use percentages. So they add up to the whole estate, or, you know, whatever estate we have after both of us die. I'm going to assume that we're each going to die from natural causes. I mean, we could go down in the same plane crash, you know, or a car accident that kills both of us. You know, I doubt it in our Tesla. Anyway, so you get the joke on the jackpot. The rules on the jackpot are you cannot get your money sooner than 15 days from the draw date. Because from the draw date, and once they know there's a winner, and I have the winning ticket, and they know there's a winning ticket, they just don't know who's got it. So once I call up to them and start reading off the serial numbers on the ticket, they'll ask you what numbers to look for, and a whole bunch of digits. There'll be 20 digits or more, which will basically discuss your entire ticket. And so they'll tell you that if you want the other thing they're going to tell you, assuming that you call the lottery, because sometime, you know, I'll have it on here within hours of when the drawing is. Or you can watch it, you know, or if you didn't watch it, you can always come here and see it on our website. And you can see it on this discussion. And I generally always have a conversation here about the lottery. The MegaMillions lottery, not Powerball. None of the other ones. Just this one. So twice a week, I got to do what you just saw me do. Yeah. And I basically insert the strip of the numbers, which I copy off their website, meaning the official Florida MegaMillions winning numbers. You go to your local state and do the same thing, you know, because each state has their own lottery folks. You know, in the state capital generally. So during that 15 days from the draw date, they're doing all their accounting for their hundreds of thousands. There's over 100,000 retailing lottery. I've gotten conflicting numbers. It's up to 223,000. Now you can call the lottery and they'll tell you how many retailers there are, of course, in 47 different jurisdictions, which is 45 states. 5 states do not participate in MegaMillions. But, you know, so 5 don't and 45 do. So 45 states plus DC and Washington, D.C., that is, and the Virgin Islands. That's the other jurisdiction that has MegaMillions. Nowhere else. The jackpot lump sum after all federal taxes, which would be 37%, would be $77,240,000. Yep, that's the number. You got $16 million in the side pocket, which you're going to pay that additional 13% in when you do your taxes for 2026. So, suggestion is just put $16 million in the side pocket. It'll grow with interest. Put it in an interest-bearing account. In a safe financial institution. One or more. You can spread it around if you want. In your name. Or you can just put $16 million in the side pocket of Jimmy. You're talking to yourself. You put $16 million in I have a separate savings account. So you just plop it in there. That way you won't be tempted to touching it. We're gonna have a check party. We're gonna have a MegaMillions party when we win. If I haven't bought a ticket and haven't done the drawing yet. They do the drawing at 11 p.m. on the button on May 19th. So hold your tickets close to your chest. If you have the winning ticket, God bless you. And then we would, if there were 2 winning tickets, then you just divide all these numbers by 2. Because you'd be splitting $271 million. So it'd be like $130,500,000. Yeah. And each of you would have this row. Maybe you divide all these numbers by 2. Doesn't include any state taxes if you live outside the state of Florida. Jimmy lives in Boca Raton. So this line works for anybody that has a winning ticket in Florida. Outside of Florida, contact your local state to see what the state taxes are, if any. If you live up in New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, you're probably going to pay out another $15 million in taxes. So instead of $77 million, you only have $62 million. So do you want to pay $15 million in lottery or come down to Florida and create a residence and move to Florida permanently, and you'll save $15 million. Rent a place down in Florida first before you turn in your ticket, and you do whatever your tax advisor tells you about declaring residency in Florida, and you have to wait 180 days to turn in your ticket, or since you bought it in New Jersey, you're going to have to pay New Jersey income tax. I don't know. I really actually don't know the answer to that question. And next time I'm socially out with an accountant, I'll ask them. They probably won't know either. But they have a better guess than I have. No clue. I can't tell you whether if you rented a place in May and said, this is my full-time residence, and I'm going to turn in my winning ticket, but I'm going to be here 180 days of this year. is, which is almost all the time. So you just shutter up your place up in Massachusetts, move down here. Since you just won, 271 million divided by 2, because I won the other ticket in this hypothetical conversation. All right, so let's say you want to take the annuity. Let me just see it. Yeah. So the aspect ratio is the same. The numbers change in size, but not in values. So I've just added another column to this, on the right side. So we're looking at the green dot there, the 271 million, the third row of numbers. And you can see the column captions up above. I'm going to reverse pinch this so you can read it nice and easily. Jackpot lump sum payout, subject to 37% tax. Now this column is less this additional Fed tax of 13%, because the withholding was 24. 24 and 13 is 37%. So if 37% goes to Uncle Sam, 63% goes to you. So that's the 77 million. So if you take 0.63 times that number, the 122 million, that's this number right here. Go to your math calculator, quick. What we're going to do, we're going to take 122 million. I'm just going to type in here 122 times 0.63. What's that equal? 76. It's 77 because there's 610,000 I didn't consider. Yeah. So we're in the right order of magnitude of having that correct. This number here is, a more fine-tuned number. They are estimates. Coughing, but what's coming out, in case you're interested, is white, not the dark beige color. Which means that the infection is dead. I've been taking antibiotics for 20 hours. I took 2 yesterday and 1 pill today, so 3 pills. 3 of the doxycycline.
12:15.
There we go. Now I'm back. Jeez. God knows how long that's been off. Anyway, sorry about that. I pushed one of these buttons down here by mistake. Turned off my microphone. Oof. Anyway, so here's all your 30 payments. The last payment of the 30 payment plan over 29 years is $16,789,000. $16,789,000. That's your last pay. That's the 30th payment. Remember, you get payment one first day, and 29 years later, you get another 29 annual payments, clicking off from the first day. So let's just say 29 years in one day, you end up with $271 million. It's a 5% growing annuity, starting at $4 million something. It's a spreadsheet, remember? Gotta go back over 30 columns to get it's 4,078. There it is. 4,078. That's the first initial payment. No sooner than 15 days from the draw date. If you want the lump sum, you must tell the lottery, Jimmy, if you win the jackpot, you got to get a hold of the lottery people. If you want the jackpot, if you want the lump sum payment, which is this $122 million payment, of which there's a 24% withholding, you only get $93 million. But if you want that $93 million, because that's what will go in your TD Bank account, tell your bank manager. They'll want to know. We will be put on the TD Bank. Boy, let's give these guys a helping hand. We get all kinds of bank services we can do for you, with you holding $93 million. Now remember, we're going to give $10 million to each of 4 kids. So we end up with this after the 24% withholding, and after this 13%, I don't show that dollar amount. You can subtract one from the other and figure it out yourself. It's $30 million about. There's still going to be 13% left over. That's the $15,000,009. Go put that in the side pocket. You people that live up in the Northeast, you may be paying another $15 million out of that jackpot because you have a state income tax. Florida, there's no state income tax, so I don't have to pay any. All these payouts are federal money only. So you end up with $70 million. So we're going to give our 4 kids each $10 million apiece. That way they'll end up with $6.3 million in cash after tax. So that's what you should do. Give them $10 million apiece. That's $40 million. That means we have $37 million left over. We're going to give $1 million to 10 other places, meaning all our other kids, uncles, nephews, cousins. We got grandchildren. We should give something to them, I guess. And we're going to give it to Bob, Jane, and Troy. Then we should give it to Yeah, Bob would. Yeah, anyway. We got 4 grandchildren and 4 children. So we can, instead of giving 10 million, we give each of our 4 kids 9 or 8 million. You gotta give them like 8 million and change, 8.5 million. So we could give them, 8 points. Gosh darn it. Where's the calculator? It's this button right here. Clear it. Times. All right. Anyway, we'll figure it out later. So I was figuring, 8,750,000. Let's try that. Times 0.63 equals 5,000,005. Yeah. 850,000. Times 0.63 equals. Oops, I touched something wrong. There we go. Right. So you give slightly less than 8.5 million. So if you gave 9 million, just saying, times 0.63 equals 5,670,000. Yeah. 8 million, they'll get 5. That's the best answer. Go back to my numbers thing. Make sure I didn't mess it up in any way. Let's get out of here. Yeah, I don't want any part. I don't want that spreadsheet. Close that out, yeah. See, this is picture files. I can turn that upside down, right side up. It's not my spreadsheet. That's why I do print screens, basically, of this portion of the spreadsheet, or that portion of the spreadsheet, or that portion of the spreadsheet, which shows 2 more columns on the right side, 1 more column on the right side. Now, this is all the lump sum payout columns. No annuity. Because, you know, most everyone's going to want. There's one winner, Jimmy, and we're the winner. That whole bottom row with that green dot opposite May 19, Tuesday, May 19, 2026. I go to May something. I did like 50 or 60 rows of this spreadsheet. This is just a small piece of it. So now I go back to a calendar and what's Tuesday's date? What's Friday's date? I had 3 days, I had 4 days, I had 3 days, I had 4 days. This is what you gotta do. All right. Let's see if Mel is driving yet. Cars don't park here. Let's check where Marilyn is real quickly. She's still at the Boca Hills. Boca Hills. Brennan's still home, and Daniel is. Hello?